Well, in the studio with me is Ben Judah, who is the author of a book called Fragile Empire, How Russia Fell in and Out of Love with Vladimir Putin. We'll talk to Ben in a moment.
Well, President Putin's word in Syria is as meaningless as it was in Ukraine, and Russia has actually, over the past few years, been allowing thousands of jihadists from the North Caucasus to travel to areas in Syria, many of whom are now sort of the core fighters in ISIS. So we have a lot of questions unanswered about the role Putin has been playing here. Putin has said only yesterday that he wanted to fight ISIS, but it appears he may actually have been attacking the Free Syrian Army. So again, there appears to be a very dangerous situation for the West, not to take him at his word, but to take him at his actions.
Your thought on the kind of wider geopolitical strategy here? There are some voices in the UN today questioning precisely what really was motivating this announcement today and the action today. What should people read into it?
Well, Vladimir Putin views Ukraine, Georgia, Syria as all part of the same front, which is against a weakening West and trying to sort of push it out of territories near Russia that he considers his buffer zone. And this play in Syria is part of showing that the West no longer has a monopoly over the airspace of the Middle East.
Given the response today in the UN, just as a final point to both of you, for viewers watching, wanting there to be some show of cooperation, I suppose, in terms of dealing with a big threat in the Middle East, in Syria particularly, are you saying that they shouldn't be so naive, they shouldn't be really looking at evidence of cooperation? This is all about, you know, a rather more narrow focus and national interest.
And we should be very worried about the fact that Mr. Putin is very reckless, and Russia has a limited amount of knowledge of Syria. Indeed, perhaps as little about the consequences of this action as the Americans had in 2003 in Iraq.